at the right time. Today is Tuesday, and it's time for another episode of Ask Dr. Ron. We got a great guest lined up for you today. My sister in broadcasting is in the green room, and she's going to have an opportunity to come on and tell us what's going on in her world. She's been on the show before, so she's not a new guest to the show, but she hasn't been on in a while. She's been mistreating me like a stepchild. That's okay. She here today. I want to give a shout out to my mentor, Dr. Hunt. Dr. Hunt and I have been traveling in life together for 30 plus years. And out of the 30 plus years that we have been traveling, he has been a blessing to both me and my family, as well as I have been a blessing to him and his family. And the reason why I talk about my mentor so much is because I want you all to understand the value of a mentor. Somebody that can help you navigate through life with all of the twists and turns and potholes in life. You need somebody who's been there that can help you navigate through life. So if you don't get nothing else out of my show, understand that you need to get a mentor. And then I want you to get a show so you can shout your mentor out. Okay? I want to invite you guys over to my website, ask-dr-ron.com. When you get over there, I want you to take a browse around and take a look at all of my advertisers that I have. Now, all my advertisers have been vetted out. They do what they say they're going to do. But I want to talk about a couple of them today. Serve Synergy. Serve Synergy has been with me for quite a few years now. And if you're interested in learning about the solar panel industry, his company would be the one to help you learn and navigate how the solar panel industry works. They're teaching classes, they're teaching people how to get certifications, they're helping people navigate contracts. So if you're interested in putting solar panels on your home or business, he can help you do all of those things. So I encourage you, give him a shout out so that you can learn what you can learn before you sign on the dotted line. I want to talk about Port Again Sam. Port Again Sam has been with me for 10 plus years, and I tell you, he brings in some of the best wines and spirits from all over the world. And I tell you, if you have not had a wine tasting with Port Again Sam, you need to click on the banner, go to his website, make an appointment so you can find your new favorite wine or cognac. I tell you, this time of year, he's usually in between vintages and different things, but you still need to give him a call so you can find out what it is that you've been missing, what all the hoopla is about. Definitely give him a call and set up your appointment. Now, I want to talk about Prince Hunter Financial Group. If you're interested in understanding about the stock market or the forex market, they offer classes all the time. They're teaching people to understand what's going on so that you can begin to set up financial wealth for you and your families. So I encourage you, definitely go over there and click on the banner, go to his website, make an appointment. He's offering a promotion. If you tell him that you heard about it on this show, he's offering 4 free classes. 4 free classes. You don't want to miss out on the 4 free classes. It'll help you get started understanding what you don't know. You'll have an idea so you can begin the knowledge of understanding your new career as a trader. So definitely check it out. So, like I told you before, Miss Wanda has been on the show before. She used to come on regularly. She's actually one of my affiliates. She has a link on my website as well, where you can click on it and you can go over to her website and get a chance to see all of her broadcasters that she has. She got a bunch of them. I ain't got a bunch of them. She got a bunch of them. A bunch of broadcasters that are available to see what they do, see what they talk about, so that you can keep up with what's going on in the CC News media world. So welcome back to the show, Ms. Wanda. How you
Thank you.
doing today?
I'm doing fine, Dr. Ford. How are you doing?
I'm still alive, baby. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Yeah, absolutely. So, how have you been doing? It's been a while since you've been on the show. It's been a couple of years at least.
Well, yeah, but I talk with you all the time, and I think what's going on is, you're doing your recovery and you're doing your shows, and I think that I've been taking off a little bit on Wednesdays and Thursdays, just working with trying to reorganize my organization. I'm going to be doing beginning some training programs online, and because I was trying to do the training programs at a location, but I see that a lot of people are now interested in doing online learning, and I'm going to get more into doing that kind of instruction because
Okay.
I think that I'll get more clients, specifically the older clients
Okay. So
that
you
don't want to come out in the weather
yeah,
and so forth.
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I think that'll be a better way to approach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, I'm gonna go back into history a little bit, Miss Wanda.
Hmm.
Now, CC News Media was originally an organization that your
Because
husband, yeah, he got out of here early, so you took
yeah.
over with a desire to want to keep his dream and passion alive. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, actually, when I met my husband, it was probably 1997, and he was doing what he called the Morgan Memo, which was a 4-page document that he used as a newsletter. And he did all of the pros and cons of people that you should know, coming into town, entertainers, business folks, whoever he interviewed. And he did a show on WVON, WGCI, a variety of radio stations. And so he was doing that. I had started a publication called the West Street Journal that I branched off from South Street Journal, Ron Carter's publication. He actually trained me in doing newspaper production because I started helping him with his publication, and then in an attempt to expand it, we took it to the West Side. And so he had the South Street Journal on the South Side, and I had the West Street Journal on the West Side for a couple of years. And then it started to grow so well, that we decided we would do one publication. One side would be the West Street Journal, the other side would be the South Street Journal. We did that for a little while. And then we decided that Ron would just go on and continue the South Street Journal, and I would start the Chicago Communicator, and that's what I did. And so he really taught me a lot. I learned the game from him. He's a very dear friend of mine, and has always been an artist in the teaching mode and trying to show others how to do what he knows and has learned to master, which is creating this publication called the South Street Journal.
So now let's touch on that a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, Once upon a time, we used to have this thing called the Sun Times and the publications were pretty popular throughout the community, Southland,
Mm-hmm.
the city, everywhere. I remember when you get a paper for a nickel or a dime.
That's so true.
So now, by everything being focused on the internet,
Yes.
is there still a market for newspapers?
For printed newspapers, I think there is, and I think it's more of a focus market in terms of people that want to give others something that they can put in their hand, and that the person would take and read at a later date and maybe uh, uh, keep around and pass on to others. And it's like a handout. Today, we still have the market for a lot of seniors don't deal with online, but that's why I'm anxious to try to work with them to do online, because everything is moving in that direction. So yeah, I think there's a market, especially for the older people, because we're still used to going into the stores, going into the doctor's offices, the banks, and picking up whatever free publications there was, laying around. And when I was printing a weekly publication, we would take those publications to the banks, to the medical centers, to the hospitals, to the grocery stores. And then I would get my grandkids and other youth in the neighborhood and pay them to go to certain communities and drop the paper in people's mailboxes, or at local stores. And so that was the way things were done back then, and people really enjoyed you bringing the paper to their home, or them being able to pick it up at the local grocery store. But today, everything's digital, and
Yeah.
folks are doing everything online, emailing, texting. So it's a different market. But there, I think there's still a market for the printed publication, if not weekly, maybe monthly or quarterly. But some people still want to see that document in their hand. They still want to be able to read the printed information.
I got you. So,
Hmm.
so, so you're working to bring that back, or
No, not
you?
working to bring it back, but sometimes I get a request from a client that would like to have something printed. And so then I'll work with that client to create that publication for that client.
Okay.
My publication has been online in a digital format for about the last 10, 15 years. We were one of the first publications locally to go digital.
Okay. And then you mentioned Ron Carter, because I know him
Yeah.
too.
Uh-huh.
How's he doing, by the way?
Well, last I heard, he's doing great. Ron is on a mission to deal with the gaps in what do they call it, food deserts in the communities. I think that's one of the passions that he's working on now, and so there are many food deserts throughout the city in the communities where melanated people are at. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a good thing for them to be doing that.
Okay. And
Mhm.
is that part of his newspaper as well, circulation, or that's just something he's doing?
I think that's something he's doing, but I'm sure that he probably mentions or follows the project in his publication. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure how often it comes out, and I know he's still doing the printed copy, but he may have an online presence as well. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but Ron's a great guy, and so
Absolutely.
he's been around for a long time, and people have depended on his publication to share the information that's out there that otherwise people would not know about. So
Absolutely.
I think that Ron is somebody to be acknowledged and appreciated for his efforts, and in the publication, and the art. He's an artist, does drawings.
Mm-hmm. So
Mhm.
now, your broadcast that you do, I know you like to do a lot of editing and things like that. So when you're doing recording and broadcasting during the week, I think you're doing what, 2 shows a week, 3 shows a
Yeah,
week? What are you
two
doing?
shows a week. On Wednesdays, I do what's called the CCN News Media On Point, and we are on point with whatever topic or topics we're going to discuss for that evening.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have I try to have, and usually I'm able to get a keynote speaker that will focus on the particular subject matter that we're discussing. And then, well, I have my reporters and or others that have an interest in that topic to come on and ask questions of that speaker.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So,
Hmm.
um, and that's broadcast. You still using the CAN TV?
Oh yeah, I will put 30 minutes of any show that I do. I'll put together a 30-minute piece to submit to CAN, because we've been at that production studio since 1999. So I want to keep that presence just so people that have become followers and that look at the program, they know what else we're doing. And I want to keep that presence so that people know how to continually contact
So
me.
you stay busy all the time.
Oh, I love being busy because being busy means that I'm still alive.
I know that's
Like
right.
I say, gotta stay alive.
Yeah, yeah. But that's a lot of work. I know
So I stole
editing
your
and
praise.
yeah, I know. Recording and then you got to edit everything. That's a lot of work. How do you find time to do all that?
Well, because that's why I developed the training program, because some of that work I want to share with my students, and that gives them the practicum that they need to have the training to be able to do what it is they need to do when you're editing, when you're filming. I took a young man with me this weekend.
Miss Wanda,
Yes,
stop kicking the table because you're shaking the
sorry.
camera.
I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you kicking the table and everything look like an earthquake over there. Yeah, go ahead.
So I like being able to take students on the assignments with me so that they get the hands-on practical application of actually doing the shoot, making sure the lighting is right, the sound, etc. Actually get to do it so that they can evaluate their work as I evaluate their work, and then we sit down and edit together, and that gives them practice so that when they do their own thing, they have more familiarity with what they're doing, and I think they enjoy that.
Okay. Now you still working with the Park District on the west side?
Oh yeah, yeah. The Garfield Park Advisory Council. That's what I'm working with, and we meet once a month with the General Assembly, and then we meet once a month with the Executive Committee. And because I'm the media communications person, I usually will film the gathering over through Zoom, on Zoom,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
so that they have a documented uh, portfolio of what their meeting was all about.
Okay. Now, one time you were teaching classes on the west side too. Are you
Yes,
still doing that or no?
I haven't since the winter set in. The location where I was at, they had some issues with the water. I think the pipes busted, and they had to shut the facility down for a few months. So I haven't been over there, but there that's been repaired now, and I'm told that they're going to be opening it back up in terms of being able to start the training again. So
Mm-hmm.
probably in the next 60 days or so, I'll be doing at least one day a week over there.
Mm-hmm. Now, with the CAN TV, now the projects that you're doing, like you said this past weekend, you did a project. Is that
Mhm.
something that you're going to edit to put on Can TV, or is it just something that you're going to put on your network, or what
Yeah,
what's?
I'll take 30 minutes of the 4 hour shoot.
Mm-hmm.
It actually ended up being about 3 hours and 32 minutes. And I'll go through it with the student and we'll pull out 30 minutes of it and I'll submit that to CAN. And that'll be demonstration of that student's work in terms of filming the gathering, editing it, and then being able to post it to our social media platforms and
Okay.
our website.
Okay. Now, how many man crew did you have?
I had 3 people. I had the student. I had a ex. I'll say ex because I hadn't worked with Michael in a few years, but I saw I ran into a former producer that I used to work with all the time, and he went out to that shoot with me. And then I had my editor for the newspaper. She went as well, and so we really worked the room. The editor was made the contacts while I worked with the student, and Mike worked with the student on the 2 camera shoot.
Okay. Well, that's good. So I take it you got burnt out.
Ah, man, I'm telling you, the next day I just had to relax. I could not do anything else. But it turned out the footage is good. They did well with the sound. Um, and so, I'm going to have him look at it as we go through it and kind of critique his own work so that
Mm-hmm.
he knows and can explain to himself and to others, where he might need to do some revisions, some
Okay.
improvements.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good. So you feel confident to be able to send him on a shoot by itself?
No, not yet.
Okay.
But I feel confident that he could work with me for the next 3 or 4 months, and then he'll tell me when he feels confident enough to work on his own.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
don't I don't want to push him or anyone else into doing a shoot by themselves until they tell me that they feel confident that they can do it.
Okay.
Otherwise, we continue to work together at their pace so that they can learn all that they need to learn. So when they do their independent shoot, it's going to come out the way they want it to come out.
Now let me ask you a question.
Absolutely.
Um, Nowadays, anybody with a cell phone has the ability to be able to shoot,
Hmm.
capture
Hmm.
um, live events anywhere and everywhere.
Hmm.
So I know you kind of old school, not calling you old, but old school. You
It's a
know, what do you feel about that technology and how it works in conjunction with how you operate? Because I know you like to edit. So,
Yeah.
how do you feel it works in within what you do and how you do it?
Well, the iPhone capture today, the iPhone has a very good. They have very good cameras, and even the Androids, and so the footage can be as crystal clear as anything that I'm shooting with a 4K. However, um, most uh, most individuals they shoot what they see based on what they want to capture. And they may not be able to take all of those independent clips and put them together to make a sequel or to make a collection of video and or audio segments. So I'm not sure that I don't think that the quality would be the same because they wouldn't be doing the same. They wouldn't be following the same process that I would follow to teach or to present a final product in terms of a video show. I don't think that when they shoot, I think they shoot for their own satisfaction. I don't think they're thinking about creating collages of images or video. And so they're shooting for a different reason. And so it's going to look different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm shooting for a final product. And as I'm shooting, I'm envisioning what I want to see at the end result. And
Okay.
that's why I edit, because if once I capture it, then I put it together the way I want it to be seen. I don't
Okay.
think the individual shooter with an iPhone or an Android are doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that they're doing it as a professional trade. They're doing it for their own satisfaction or their own documentation of whatever it is they're looking at.
I don't know about that, Miss Wanda. I've seen plenty of news reporters use their cell phones to cover events and send
And
it back to the and
that's
send
what
it.
the end product is, the cell phone.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
They send it back to the studio with news clips. They interview. They cover. You know, technology has evolved so much with the cell phone that they don't take out camera crews like they used to anymore. You know, to cover events. They still do, but
I was about to say I see them out there, but okay.
yeah.
I'm sure they probably do use the cell phone to capture things that maybe their things, little short clips or something like that. They probably do, I'm sure. And I see people shooting with the cell phones all the time at events where I'm there as a professional capturing it. I see everybody with their cell phones capturing it as well. So you're
Mhm.
right. I see that
Yeah, yeah,
technology all
yeah.
the
They're
time.
there. Yeah, be on the internet before you can get home.
That's right.
Yep,
That's right.
absolutely. You know, that's how they get people to follow them.
Yeah.
So, Miss Wanda, I know last year in 2024, you got surprised at an event that was being held where you were able to receive a humanitarian presidential lifetime achievement award. How did that happen? How does it make you feel? Let's talk about that a little bit.
Oh, Dr. Ford, I mean, I had no idea that you were going to honor me with such an award. And um, had I known, I probably would have dressed differently. I probably would have made sure that all my friends and family were there. I just didn't know, but I am so appreciative of your acknowledgement of any skills that I shared with you. It was for my volunteerism, and I volunteer a whole lot, but I usually volunteer because I'm just trying to assist whoever it is I'm volunteering for, and you acknowledge that, and I really appreciate that. That was first time I've ever received a lifetime presidential achievement award. It's just an honor. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Now, I remember earlier last year that I think they had a woman's award or something that the county had
Oh
honored
yeah,
you. Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah. What was that
Peggy.
about?
That was about Cook County Commissioner, President Cook County Predwinkle, and Peggy. Oh, I can't remember Peggy's last name, but it was an award that Peggy is a senior. She gave to women around the county that had been nominated by some organization or some individual for what they had done over the years. And I was nominated by the Rala and Associates, which is a law firm. They deal with property tax. And this law firm has been working with me on a property that I uh, gave to the city in 2018. And yet the city has been, or the county whoever does the property taxes and the fines have been trying to get me to pay for many years. And I've been out that property since 2008. And so this firm is who nominated me for the award from the county, and I was really grateful for that as well. It's a wonderful thing to get to be 74 years old, and for somebody to reach back and say, "We acknowledge that you've been here and working all these years and tried to help along the way young people to understand how to tell their stories, how to explain what's going on in their lives, and make sure others understand how they can help." So just in the last year, it's been a wonderful excursion, a wonderful journey to realize that my years of work haven't gone unacknowledged.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yes.
Now I'm still stuck on the part where you said 75. I thought you was close to 80.
Oh, you know what, Dr. Ford, stop. What with Dr. Ford? Oh, funny. No, sir.
Well, you've been around since the horse and buggy, so I thought, yeah, you was talking about newspapers costing a penny and stuff, so
That's all right. See, you just put that smile on my face, because no, I wasn't quite that far back.
uh-huh.
They did have trolleys.
Yeah.
I do remember riding on a trolley.
Okay.
But it wasn't the horse and the buggy.
It wasn't the horse and the buggy?
No.
Nah, all right. Well, it was an honor and a privilege. Now, I got to tell a little of the story,
Okay.
if you don't mind. I had some surgeries, plural, on last year, and I was having difficulty getting reliable people to come by and help me recuperate. And I called Miss Wanda, and I said, "Miss Wanda, I need some help." And she said, "I'm on my way." And when she showed up, she stayed with me and helped nurse me back to health. I'm so pleased that it was her, because I fuss at Miss Wanda a lot. And Miss Wanda keeps showing up. So I was like, boy, she must like getting fussed at. But she was here. She helped, and I felt compelled, and I did reach out to your family too, because it was a secret. It wasn't something that I advertised. You were in the program, and I know you didn't know what was going on. And it tickled me when I started talking about you. My neighbor, you and her have become, associates or whatever. And she says, "He talking about you?" You're like, "No, he ain't talking about me," And then when I called your name, you was like, "Oh my God." You was totally shocked.
I was just too through. I was like, "Oh no, he didn't call my name."
Yep.
And
Called your name.
my way all the way up there to the stage.
Look, and then told everybody, "Y'all know Dr. Ford, he like to hug on everybody. I ain't trying to give him no hug." And I was like, "Lord have mercy." The name of the event is Love Is, okay? And you talking about you don't even want to give me a hug. I was like, "Oh, go eat some more chicken and sit down," But yeah, it was
I had a
truly
ball. It was really
truly an honor to see that look on your face, when you got snuck up on. See? Yep. And then look, y'all, let me tell y'all something. Miss Wanda get lost going around the corner. She was calling me, "Where the place at? Where the place at?" And I kept, "You got the address, Google it." "I can't find it." Yo, Lord, I was like, she ain't gonna make it. I kept thinking she's gonna be late, but she made it, Now, do you talk about the award with your grandchildren? Because I know your grandchildren are, a source of, joy to you. So,
Oh,
what
yeah.
what does your family say about it?
Oh man. The kids, every time they come, they look at my little awards. I have to, now that I've relocated to another place, I'm going to be putting things on the wall. But when I first got it, everything, I put them on the table, and the kids come and say, "Grandma, you got this award," and they want to touch it. Nope, don't touch it. No fingerprints. Nah, you just leave it alone. It's so, children like to put their hands all over everything. So they are always asking. They know Dr. Ford gave me that award. And whenever you call, they see your name across the phone. It's Dr. Ford. So hey, you don't have to worry about me missing any calls when they're around, because as soon as they see your name, they gonna bring me the phone.
Absolutely.
They're very proud of it too.
Yeah.
Children, they are happy through you. If you happy, they're happy. And so yes,
See,
my family
I don't
knows
like
you very
children, so
well.
I would never know. So, I don't babysit nobody's kids. I keep them all. I like, look, 2 hours. If you don't
That's
get back
it.
here within 2 hours, you can pick your children up at the fire station.
That's it, Dr. Ford.
With a happy meal.
With a happy meal.
I'm gonna feed them and send them to the fire station. You can pick them up over there. Well, yeah, because children require a certain kind of energy,
Yes.
that you have to have in order to be able to keep up with them. Otherwise, they'll burn the house down.
And they will.
Yeah,
Trust.
yeah.
Not intentionally, but because they like to experiment, just like you did when you were a child, just
No,
like I
no,
did when I
no,
was a child.
no,
They want to
no.
experiment.
See,
But
I grew up in an era where they had this thing called child abuse. If you touch something you ain't supposed to touch, you got child abuse. So
oh
it
yeah,
wasn't gonna be no burning down the house, none of that stuff.
I remember those days.
You gonna get abused,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
And then they
But
gonna tell. Go.
back there they didn't call it abuse. Back there they just called it discipline. You know, they're going to discipline you mentally, emotionally, and physically.
Yeah,
You're going to get it all three ways.
okay. Yeah, they call it definition of child abuse. All right, that's what they call it. If you get hit with something harder than a baseball bat, that's child abuse.
Or you get this. See, my mother, she used to give us the extension cord.
Yeah, that
And
too.
you be sitting there watching that cord hang there all day because you knew at the end of the day,
Your
it was
turn.
it was your turn. It's
Yeah,
coming.
yeah.
So
But
you
you
be
know what?
ready
Now,
all day.
you and I were talking one day, and we were talking about what's going on with these children that have been born to parents that have been abusing drugs, and
Yes.
they don't have a plan for them. They don't have a program for them, and the police will gladly put them out their misery
Yeah.
if you ain't careful. Because
Yes.
if you ain't got your children someplace safe, they gonna take care of them for you.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
you
And
know,
they have no empathy because I don't know who said this to me, but these children today, not all of them, but a majority of them are coming from parents that were in the crack era.
right? Crack babies.
Yeah, and so now you have these full-grown adults that uh, they have crack in their system, and they have certain requirements, and so the doctors knew when the babies came that they were going to be special needs people, but they closed the institutions down. So I don't know how they get treatment. I don't know if they get treatment, but they know, society knows that these adults have been exposed to these drugs.
Absolutely.
And they're living, breathing human beings. So what you gonna do? Kill them all?
They're gonna try.
Well,
You know.
that's where the no nonsense issues arise with me. That makes no sense at all.
Well, guess what? And they ain't gonna ask your permission either.
You're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
But I
So
hope enough of us have some compassion to do some to facilitate their recovery.
yeah. So what you got going on, Miss Wanda, coming up? Now I know that you stay busy all day and all night. Got to. If you editing and shooting and all of that stuff. So what are some of the projects you got coming up?
Well, as I said, I'm going to be going back on the west side at least one day a week to the firehouse to do some work with students that I worked with on the west side. And Garfield Park is going to be initiating a training program, TRIPS training program this summer. And so I'll be at Garfield Park at least once a week with the TRIPS program. And that's going to be great because then I'll get students from two locations on the west side, and hopefully those, I want to attract the students that have an interest. I'm not interested in just getting young people who come because they're going to get paid. I want young people who have an interest in learning communication tactics.
Okay.
If you have an interest in learning how to do a publication online, then you're the student I want to see. If you have an interest with learning how to work these 4K cameras and how to edit and publish your information to the internet on the social media platforms, then you're the person I want to see. And Mike, the gentleman I was telling you that I used to work with, that we kind of lost contact over the years, and now he's back. He's a carpenter. He's had carpentry training from the Navy, and so he does a lot of stuff with housing, and I'd like to be able to want him to work with us. And some of the projects that he works on, we will follow him using the TRIPS program to document what he's doing. And he has done a lot of work with South Suburban College, and I'll be taking the TRIPS program, thanks to him, up to South Suburban to see if I can employ that program there as well. I used to shoot for Thornton Township when Frank Zuccarelli was the township supervisor, in the same position that Tiffany, what is it? What's the lady that's now?
Henyard.
Yeah, Henyard.
Yeah.
He used to be in that position, but then he passed, and I think she was the next person in that. They went to, that obtained that slot. So yeah, I think that would be a good fit if I had it instituted out there in South Suburban College. So that's another.
Don't they have a broadcast studio there already?
I think they do,
Okay.
but I'm talking about the program itself and being able to use their facility to bring that program to their students, those that have an interest in the program.
Okay. So you're gonna take the program and make it a curriculum at the school or something?
That is my intention.
Okay. All
And
right.
or maybe, if, as you said, they already have television programming, radio programming, then that's okay, because then we can offer the other components of the TRIP program, and or just have them do an external internship with Chicago Communicator, and then we can take them in the field, and they can practice what they're learning in theory in school.
Mm-hmm. I got you.
Yeah.
So your futuristic aspirations are about teaching,
Yes.
and getting people interested in learning the arts as you see fit to teach them.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What else you got going on?
Well, basically, that and just trying to make sure that as these young people come aboard to learn these skills, that they write about them, and then we'll have the publication that's online will be filled with their materials. That is really how I would like to display their work,
Mm-hmm.
is through the online presence. So that is going to be a key thing for me. And then I've met a couple of, I have a couple of clients that introduced me to others. One gentleman is working with gardening. Uh, um, I think he calls it hydro gardening, where they have these. I'm not sure. I haven't seen them, but I've been told they have these like train cars that they convert into hydro plant kind of units that they can grow food in year round, and they're teaching students to do that, to have their own 24 hours, 7 day a week, 365 days a year methodology for growing food. Because, today, I think that we're going to have to start dealing with agriculture as we used to, because it's high blood pressure, diabetes, all this stuff is running rampant, and that's all related to what we eat. And
Mm-hmm.
so we have to learn how to grow our own food and feed ourselves in a more healthy manner so that we can exist longer.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my personal opinion.
So what else you got? I mean, you're running out of days of the week. So you got all kinds of stuff going on.
Well,
You know.
that's about it. That's about it. But I'm sure as the week progresses and as time moves on, I'll come up with some other things.
Okay. I know you said something early on about newspaper. You're gonna get back into publishing again.
Well, we publish online every day.
Okay.
However, in terms of hard copies, only when I have a client that wants something printed so that he or she can pass it out. Other than that, all of our production will be online.
Okay. And they can find your productions where?
Yeah, they'll be able to go to the website, and each student will create his or her own page and be able to talk about the project and where they're at in the project on their page.
Where?
And if we can get, it's going to be on the newspaper's website, which is ccnnewsmedia.org.
That's what I was trying to get you to say. So
Okay.
yeah, so they can reach out to you there as well.
Yes, they can reach out to me there as well.
Your
And
information. Go ahead.
yeah, and the phone number is 773 669 8736. They can also call that number, or, as I said, reach out to me on the website.
Okay. And if someone is interested in trying to get involved in your training, what's the criteria that they have to have in order to reach out to you? Now, I know a lot of people, they say, well, I'm going to go to school to be a beautician. Is that somebody you interested in or no?
And no, I think I'm interested in people that have an interest in being able to tell their story through media, through television programming, through uh, internet radio-based programming, to be able to tell it through their written stories that will be published on the website and on their individual page. Someone who has an interest in being able to communicate verbally and in writing. A lot of people um, some people like to talk and explain what's going on with them. Others like to write. Some like to draw. I'm interested in then people that have that creative genius and they want to explore it and showcase it. Not if you're an accountant and you want to be able to depict the accounting procedures and you like to be able to showcase that, then you might be somebody that would have an interest in learning how to present that information online. And we would be able to help you with that.
Okay. All right. So, Ms. Wanda, did we miss anything? Did we cover everything that you wanted to talk about?
Oh, I think you have helped me explain all the projects that we're working on right today. And I appreciate that time.
Okay. All right. So we covered everything. I'm asking again.
I think that I have covered everything I need to discuss.
Okay, good. Well, it's been a long time since you've been on the show. So I don't know if you remember this or not, but I always like to ask two questions when I have a guest on the show. And the first question is, will you come back and see me again?
Oh, absolutely, Dr. Ford. You're stuck with me now. You're
Okay.
stuck. I'm gonna come back.
All
Absolutely.
right. Okay. Be careful what you say now.
Yes, sir.
You
I'm
know.
I'm careful. I'm careful.
Yeah. So now, when are you broadcasting again? When's your next, recording?
Wednesday, this coming
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
So you do Wednesday
7
evening,
We have Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. is when we record, and
but it's not
I'll
live though, right? You can't
no,
see it when you're doing
I'm
it.
recording it, and then after I edit it, I'll put it on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, oh excuse me, X, uh, etc., and
Okay.
on the media website, you'll be able to see it.
Okay. Good. Good. Good.
Okay.
Good. Yep. That's outstanding. Well, Miss Wanda, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be a part of what we do over here. I applaud you once again for being a person who works in the community as a volunteer, and you're more than qualified as an individual to have received that award. And I just want to say thank you once again for being there for me.
Oh,
You
well,
know,
thank you for inviting me to come because that's all you had to do was just invite me to come. And I said, well, he need my help. If I can do something to help, that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
yes, and I
I've been trying
appreciate
to
it.
do that ever since.
Yes, ma'am, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank
Every now and then, Miss Wanda spends so much time around kids. I
you.
had said, Miss Wanda, can't you escape and come do some adult entertainment? And I ain't talking about no strip club, y'all. I'm just talking about, you know, come and watch some TV and drink some wine and do what the grown folks do. Cause she be around them kids all the time. She forgot what grown folks do.
I know how to forget. I'm just, I don't know. I remember so vividly my grandmother and my relationship with her. And she used to be my private savior because whenever I felt like I was being mistreated or not being treated the proper way, I'd call on my grandmother. I mean, they didn't have cell phones back there, but in my spirit mind, I'd call on my grandmother, and so sure enough, she would show up
Yeah.
and save me from whatever it was I was trying to get away from. And so I just try to be there for my great grandchildren.
All
My
right.
grandchildren are all adults, so they don't need me as much anymore, but their children
There
are
you
the
go.
ones that I'm working with.
There you
Yes.
go. That's what's up. And once again, I applaud you, Miss Wanda.
Thank you, sir.
As always, when I leave the show, the second question I always like to ask is, what would you like to leave with the people before you leave today?
I'd like to say that you, Dr. Ford, are someone that people should know. That ever since I've known you, you have been a resource person for me in terms of just being able to put me in contact with people that I need to know for whatever reason. And I think that you function in that capacity for many people. And I'd like to say, if you know Dr. Ford, that's a great thing. But if you don't, you need to meet him. He's a great gentleman. Thank you, Dr. Ford, for inviting me to your show. I enjoyed my night, and I hope you feel better.
Oh yeah, 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 absolutely. Thank you so very much for that. Miss Wanda, I'm gonna ask you to stay right there while I end the show for today. So once again, thank you so very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be a part of what we do over here. And just for those that don't know, her website, there's a link on my website to her website because we're affiliates,
Yes.
and you need to go check it out. So easy to find. You can get to me, you can get to her. All
Thank
right,
you.
stay there, Miss Wanda. I
All
want to
right.
invite you guys out to join me each and every Wednesday on Street News Now, where we do the noon report. We have news commentary each and every Wednesday, talking about what's going on in the world. You don't want to miss it. Me and Mr. Lee Michaels, we work together to talk about what's going on in the world. And I tell you, and we never run out of material. I want to invite you guys out to join me each and every Saturday at noon for an episode of From the Desk of Dr. Ron, where I get an opportunity to tell you guys what's on my mind, things that have been going on throughout the week. And I get a chance, because if I'm going through something, more than likely somebody else is going through some stuff too. So it helps all of us to talk about it. Okay. I want to invite you guys each and every Sunday evening. We're going to start back up. We believe in celebrating Black History 365 days out of the year. So even though Black History Month is ending, we're still going to be talking about Black history every Sunday evening. You don't want to miss it. We're going to have heroes and sheroes that we're going to be talking about, okay, each and every Sunday evening. I want to thank all those that have made contributions up to this point in time. Thank you so very much. These are all the ways that you can make contributions to the broadcast. I need your help. Please continue to support. You know, without you, we run out of money. So please continue to support. This is it. And while you're here, please subscribe, like, and share. Please hit that subscribe, like, and share button. Tell somebody about Ms. Wanda and what all she's doing. If you find somebody that might be interested in learning a skill or a trade, reach out to her. You know, she'll tell you if they qualified or not. Now, she ain't looking for nobody to babysit now. So don't be dropping your little baby kids off over there by talking about, oh, teach them how to do this stuff. Look, don't do it. Okay? Somebody who's interested in wanting to learn a skill or a trade, send them over there. She'll be glad to help them. All right? So I look forward to seeing you guys on tomorrow. Please join me tomorrow. Same network, same station. You'll be able to find us right here on YouTube. I love you guys. And